Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond, a congregation in the free faith tradition bound not by creed but by covenant. My name is Nikki Rovner, and I am honored to serve on your board of directors. I am a middle-aged white woman with dark hair with lots of gray in it. I'm late middle age. I have curly, like I said, curly dark hair. I have glasses, and I'm wearing a purplish sweater, and my pronouns are she, her. And we say these things to help folks who have low vision. So you'll hear a number of other speakers describing themselves in this way this morning. Our church began in 1833 as a liberal Christian community, and we're now a community of many faith journeys and beliefs united in a single covenant of care. We are committed to being deliberately diverse and fully inclusive of all people, including our adults, youth, and children. Together we explore our connection to each other, to the sacred, and to all life. And we strive to bring our values alive in this community and beyond. And one example of that is it was at this church that the Richmond Pledge to End Racism was created in 2014. And since then, we have hosted many Living the Pledge workshops. And we invite you to do so if you haven't already, to participate in one of these workshops. And even if you have, I think you'll get a lot out of it. It's evolving with the times. And you can register at richmondpledge.org. We very much hope that you find something here today that touches your mind and heart. Wherever you may arrive in your faith journey, know that you are welcome here today.
Oof. Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Richmond. I am Reverend Anna Tulou. I use she and they pronouns equally, and I serve as assistant minister here. I am a middle-aged white woman with pale skin and freckles, blue eyes, and long wavy hair. I am wearing a white shirt, a woven black and rainbow-colored stole, and a red mala. This morning, we are joined in worship by our youth singers and, of course, Jamie Kilpatrick. Our song leaders are Hayat and Judith and Bari, and Faye, Eric, and Jeremy are helping us in AV. And if you have anything that you need or want to talk about, Ted Merriman is here. Ted, can you wave? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike Kane is here. Sorry, I had the wrong name. From our lay pastoral care team, and will be available after worship. Mike, do you mind standing up so folks can see you? This is Mike. And he will be in the small conference room after worship. Also, we have a new worship associate this morning, Natalia Coronado Mercer. So, yeah, yay. And it is our custom to welcome newcomers each Sunday by passing the mic to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and where you are coming from. If you're comfortable doing so, Jamie has the mic. Ooh, we got one back here. There we go.
You want to throw that down there?
Thank you. Hi, good morning. My name is Sarah, and I'm here with my husband, Michael, and we just moved to Richmond from D.C. and are excited to be here. Thanks.
No? We all know everybody? Really?
Wow.
All right then.
All right, well, now we get to greet one another. So for those of you who are attending online, introduce yourselves in the chat and say hi. And those here in the sanctuary, please welcome your neighbor. Also, before we do some energy raising with Jamie, I want to invite, if there are any young people or young at heart who want to kind of have a little more room to spread out, you are welcome to come up here on the risers on this side. So welcome today. And Jamie?
Morning, y'all. We're going to do a participatory prelude this time. Yeah. It's a song you all know. It's We Shall Not Be Moved. I want you to feel free to clap, sing along. I will call out the verses, the zipper verses as we go. Make up alternate lines, sing over it, scat, do whatever you want, have fun. Like, for real, have fun. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Now you know what we're doing. Do it like you mean it. 2, ready, go. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Young and old together. We are young and old. We shall not be moved. We're young and old together. We shall not be moved, just like a tree planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We are of all genders. We are of all genders. We shall not be moved. We are of all genders. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. I made this one up this morning. It's a double negative. Enjoy it. I don't want no war. I don't want no war. We shall not be moved. I don't want no war. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Anna made this one up this morning. It's protecting one another. Here we go. Protecting one another. We shall not be moved. Protecting one another. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. One more time. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Oh, that feels good. Thank you, Jamie. Our call to worship this morning comes from Adrienne Marie Brown from their poem, A Complex Movement. Over and over again, it becomes known the peace we seek is seeking us. The joy of full bud awaiting our attention, justice in our hands longing to be practiced. The whole world learning from within. Internalize demands. You are the one you are waiting for. Externalize love. Bind us together into a greater self, a complex movement, a generative abundance, and embodied evolution. Learn to be here. Come, let us worship.
My name is Natalia Coronado Mercer. I'm the worship associate. I'm 16 years old. I'm white. I've got long brown hair that's in 2 braids today, and I'm wearing a gray sweater with purple stripes. This is a chalice lighting inspired by James Baldwin. This is only the edge of a flame that snags substance from every crevice of this near-forsaken earth. Our deepest well of water is the ocean. From it, we cannot drink, lest we turn to salt. Our deepest well of influence is our interconnectedness. From it, we cannot claim for the price, from it, we can claim for the price of life-altering love. Light and dark ring from the same sky. I am partial to the nighttime, though. I can see the fire more clearly then, but I have faith. It shines through the day. That's what faith is. Trust in the existence of flame despite its translucence. If we wandered every beach, journeyed to the ends of the flame, never looked back, would we discover the love we long for? Only one way to find out. Please rise in body or in spirit for our opening hymn, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
More participatory stuff. We're going to do it 2 times in unison, and then we're going to do it 2 times as a round. I didn't warn Bari, but all he's going to do is he's going to go like this for this side, and he's going to go like that for that side. So 2 times in unison, twice as a round. At the 4 bars, at the 2. Yeah.
Larger than the previous one. And the smallest domino is about 5 millimeters high and 1 millimeter thick. And I will carefully place it. And there are 13 dominoes. And the largest domino, it weighs about 100 pounds and is more than a meter tall. Ready? Boom. That was 13 dominoes. If I had 29 dominoes, the last domino would be as tall as the Empire State Building. Here we go. What's the physics going on here? Well, every time you stand up a domino, you lift it against gravity. And that stores some of gravitational potential energy in the domino. And you only have to put in a little bit of push to get it to that tipping point. And then you get all that energy back again when it falls over. And that's more than enough energy to knock over the next domino, which releases even more energy. So it turns out the amplification in this series of 13 dominoes is about 2 billion. So we put in a little tiny bit of energy at the beginning, and we get 2 billion times as much out at the end. But of course, we put all that energy in by lifting these dominoes and standing them up again. So that's a kind of chain reaction. You trigger it, and more energy comes out, and more energy is released each step. Let's see it in slow-mo.
When I first saw this video, it reminded me immediately of this reading from the Gospel according to Luke 18, verses 1 through 8, or the parable of the persistent widow in the Christian scriptures. Then Jesus told his disciples a parable to show them that they should always pray and not give up. He said, "In a certain town, there was a judge who neither feared God nor cared about men. And there was a widow in the town who kept coming to him with the plea, 'Grant me justice against my adversary.' For some time he refused, but finally he said to himself, 'Even though I don't fear God or care about men, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will see that she gets justice, so that she won't eventually wear me out with her coming.' And the Lord said, 'Listen to what the unjust judge says. And will not God bring about justice for his chosen ones who cry out to him day and night? Will he keep putting them off? I tell you, he will see that they will get justice, and quickly.'" This passage illustrates a message we've heard a lot, but we could all stand to hear it again. Too often, others tell us that there is no way an individual's action could ever enact real change. Too often do we tell ourselves this. But as Alice Walker has said, the most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. Though we are tiny, lined up next to societal establishments, all of us hold immeasurable power over our own lives. Lives that don't merely affect their communities, but form their community's literal blood. And what is the world if not a congregation of congregations? In the words of Adrienne Marbree Brown, small is good, small is all. The large is a reflection of the small.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Denise Rhymes. I am an oldish, beyond oldish, white woman with salt and pepper hair. I'm wearing a white shirt and black and blue glasses. And I have the privilege this morning of telling you a little bit about our Share the Plate recipient for the month of March. The Sacred Heart Center is one of Richmond's most vital community anchors, a place where Latino families find education, connection, and opportunity. When you support the Sacred Heart Center, you're not just giving to a program. You're investing in people, in families, and in the future of our city. Every day, the center opens its doors to adults seeking English classes, citizenship preparation, and leadership development. It's a place where parents gain the tools to advocate for their children, where newcomers learn to navigate schools and services, and where young people find mentors who believe in their potential. This is work that strengthens entire households and builds long-term stability. One of the center's proudest achievements is preparing 1,000 Spanish-speaking adults for their GED certificates, a milestone that transforms job prospects, earning potential, and confidence. The number represents not just academic success, but resilience, determination, and most of all, hope. But the Sacred Heart Center is more than its programs. It is a trusted gathering place, where families feel safe, welcomed, and understood. It's a hub of culture, pride, and community leadership, and it's often the first place that people turn when they need help navigating a new life in our city. Your donation directly fuels this work. It expands class offerings, supports childcare so parents can attend programs, strengthens youth leadership opportunities, and ensures that every single family who walks through their doors is met with dignity and with support. Every dollar stays local, creating immediate and lasting impact. When you give to the Sacred Heart Center, you help build a stronger, more connected, and more equitable city of Richmond. Your help opens doors for families who are working hard to build brighter futures, and you stand with a community whose strength and spirit enrich our city every single day. Hope that you will give generously. Ways to give are on the screen, and our gratitude for your donation is directly given back to you in ways that are indescribable. The offering will now be taken and so very gratefully received.
Share the Plate means half of our collected offering for the whole month goes to the month's chosen organization, which for March is Sacred Heart Center. Ushers will pass baskets in the sanctuary, and other ways to give are listed on the screen. Thank you for giving and for all the ways in which you give.
is growing because I choose love. Love's always present. It's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. What tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us can't be undone. I choose love.
The song that Jamie was playing during the offering is called I've Got Peace Like a River. I've got peace like a river in my soul. And it goes through the verses, I've got joy like a fountain. There are even hand movements, y'all. I've got love like an ocean. And the verse that a lot of times people skip, I've got pain like an arrow. I've got pain like an arrow in my soul. And I was listening to the way that Jamie was playing it, and I felt all of those verses rolled up together in one beautiful mess. And that's medicine to me this morning. And maybe it's medicine to y'all. Because again, our experiences of the world, the things we feel, they aren't jealous of one another. They can all exist in one big, beautiful mess. And we bring all of that here. That's why I love the symbol of the chalice, not just because of that flame, but because of a vessel that can hold whatever we bring to put into it. It can hold all of it. So find a position that is comfortable for you. And join me in an attitude of meditation or prayer, connecting with your language for the sacred. And lift up an offering for the chalice. What is it that you bring with you today? What is it that you would contribute to feed the flame of this community and the larger world? Whether it is peace like a river, joy like a fountain, love like an ocean, pain like an arrow, I invite you to listen to these words and meditate on them. Notice in your body and in your mind where something sparks or where there is resistance. These words are from Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Marie Brown. I am listening now with all my senses, as if the whole universe might exist just to teach me more about love. I listen to strangers. I listen to random invitations. I listen to criticisms. I listen to my body. I listen to my creativity. I listen to elders. I listen to my dreams and the books that I am reading. I notice the more I pay attention, the more I see order, clear messages, patterns, and invitations in the small and seemingly random things that happen. In all these ways, I meditate on love. This practice lets me connect to the part of myself that is divine, aligned with the universe, and the place within myself where I can be a conduit for spiritual truth. When I fear the universe, I fear myself. When I am in love, when I love and am in awe of the universe, I love and am in awe of myself. Imagine then the power when I align with the universe. Nothing is required of me more than being and creating. Simultaneously being present with who I am, who we are as a species, and creating who we must become, and within that, who I must become. Notice what in those words resonated for you or where you felt discomfort. Acknowledge that. Wonder about that. That's the start of a good conversation. Our meditation hymn is number 1009, the meditation on breathing. Thank you, Bari. That's such a good sound. It's such a good sound. When I was in elementary school, I was pretty regularly picked on and teased. I remember having things thrown at me, having gross things left in my chair. I remember being called names and kids chanting mean rhymes about me. I know other kids had it way worse. And those of us who are on the receiving end learn to just keep to ourselves, keep our heads down, our eyes to the ground, and just focus on our work or try to stick close to teachers. And things got worse in elementary school or in middle school. More often, the people who were doing the bullying threatened violence if you spoke up for yourself or especially tried to stick up for anyone else. And they would single people out, following them or waiting along their path. A couple kids actually got beaten up, and the fear got intense enough that something in me snapped. And see, for years, I had felt like that smallest domino. I was only 4 millimeters tall, and everyone else was a lot bigger and stronger and louder than me. And I thought I could not possibly affect the way things were. That was just the way things were. But at a certain point, I realized that I couldn't keep my head down anymore. And I started to speak up. I refused to cower. I refused to stay in my place. And I said no. I raised my eyes from the ground and I refused to look away from what was happening around me. And that is when things started to shift. When the bullying started to lose its power, and I realized that I had my own power. And it was only ever a few people actually doing the bullying, but almost everyone enabled or cooperated with it by simply doing nothing. Now, to those of us who are still in school, I want to be clear that if you are experiencing any bullying, I encourage you to talk to your parents and to trusted grown-ups in your life. And that goes for those of you in your workplaces as well, because bullying wants to isolate us, and we need to talk to one another and get support. Because going from doing nothing to disrupting can be really complicated. When I began to resist, it was not a neat and tidy Disney ending. All conflict and meanness did not instantly melt away with a big song and dance number and we all became friends in the end. That did not happen. It was scary. But I realized that while keeping my head down for all those years might have helped me to avoid some immediate conflict, it did not keep me or anyone else safe. It made it easier for bullying to continue and to get worse I never began to feel safe until I stopped cooperating with the bullying. And at the same time, I began to connect to others around me. I offered and I received help. And I began to trust myself again. Recently, I attended a training for Unitarian Universalist ministers on non-cooperation. Non-cooperation is when we refuse to cooperate with orders or demands. And this slide came up, if we can get the first slide. We can sing some more if we need to. We shall not be moved. We're waiting for a slide and we shall not be moved. Like a tree that's planted by the water, we shall not be moved. I can just tell you what's on the slide, and that's okay too. On this slide, it says what to expect from authoritarians. They will stoke fear and chaos to keep us off balance, make threats to get people to obey in advance, and weaponize fear of subgroups to keep us divided and apart. And I thought, oh, I remember that. That's bullying. Authoritarianism is just bullying on a much larger scale. So what are some of the ways that a person might try to stop bullying? Call it out. Take out the legs. Right off the bat. I appreciate it. Okay, hold on one. Protest. Civil disobedience. Saying no. Shaming the bullier. Shining a light on the activity. Tell the truth. Or organizing. Yeah, get with other people. Stand with the person being bullied and protect them. All right, so we just came up with a whole bunch of ideas. Oh yeah, thanks. Thank you, AV. Now, are all of the ideas that we just shared rooted in our Unitarian Universalist values? Oh, I heard mixed bag there. I heard some no's and I heard some yeses. Would all of these put bullying to an end long term? Some of them, and some of them maybe not. So let's be discerning about that. Now, Audre Lorde wrote that justice work requires us to, quote, learn how to be unpopular and sometimes reviled, and how to make common cause with others in order to define and seek a world in which we can all flourish. All. It is learning how to take our differences and make them strengths. For the master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. They may allow us temporarily to beat him at his own game, but they will never enable us to bring about genuine change. The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house. Y'all with me? Okay. So what are the master's tools? What are the tools of authoritarianism or bullying? Fear. Ooh, I need better ears. Silence, cruelty. Division, keep breaking people apart. Chaos. Lies. Oh, yeah. Distraction. Aggression. Control. Y'all are good. All right. So violence, chaos, othering, all the tools of oppression, keeping people divided. Y'all know this. Okay, so here's the second slide. Ooh, y'all are on the ball. I want you to pay attention. I know this is hard to read, and I am going to read it to you, so don't worry. On the left column, which is all about the master's tools or authoritarian strategies, divide and rule, wear people down, pick off one group at a time, use threats of repression to maximize obeying in advance, sow confusion and distract, and provoke opposition violence. You can take it down for a moment. Now, when I was a kid, I sometimes fought with my older brother, and when we really got into it and got caught name calling or even hitting, we were really fast to cry out, "They did it first," because we wanted to justify our own behavior, and also we wanted to win. Why might "they did it first" not be a good excuse? Reversing positions. You nailed it, Mike. The master's tools are not going anywhere. They're just changing hands. They're just changing hands. The individuals or the groups holding the tools might have changed, but we have not actually disrupted the cycle. We have perpetuated it, which would mean that we have not won. We have simply become a source of harm. So on the right side, if I can get that slide one more time, on the right side of the slide are listed the non-cooperative responses to authoritarian strategies, which do allow us to remain grounded in our values. We play as a team. We care for one another. We plan ahead to make repression backfire and cultivate collective courage. We cut through the confusion. We speak the truth. We identify red lines. This is an important one because we need to be aware of what is the point of no return for us. The red line is the issue at which we are like, we will not back off of this. I will put myself on the line. And that is something we should all be talking about in our families and in our communities. So identify those red lines. Don't take the bait. Remain nonviolent. Develop the capacity for rapid mobilization together. Resist their strategies. The non-cooperation is not just with those individuals or groups who are running an authoritarian system. The non-cooperation is with those strategies themselves. We refuse to take up the master's tools. You can take the slide down. Thank you. Now, deciding to be non-cooperative and to resist bullying in our personal lives or in society is important, but as a people of faith and a faith that is centered in love, how we choose to respond is just as important. Author and justice worker Adrienne Marie Brown is committed to rooting activism in courageous love and encourages us to resist the temptation to pick up the master's tools even when afraid, hurt, or angry. Abusive dynamics are a driving force in both bullying and authoritarianism. You with me? In their book, Emergent Strategy, Brown writes, quote, You do not have the right to traumatize abusive people, to attack them personally or publicly, or to sabotage anyone else's health. The behaviors of abuse are also survival-based, learned behaviors, rooted in some pain. If you can look through the lens of compassion, you will find hurt and trauma there. I'm seeing a lot of discomfort right now. If you are the abused party, healing that pain is not your responsibility. And exacerbating that pain is not your justified right. That's a tough one. In other words, love yourself enough to refuse to become that which is harming yourself or others. Love yourself enough to refuse to become that which is harming you. Love one another enough to disrupt injustice and harm everywhere. Love all beings enough to refuse to take up the master's tools and disrupt the cycles of harm. And some of you are like, I don't need any more challenge than that. Thank you, that's enough this morning. If you do want a deeper challenge, invite yourself to wonder about the pain beneath this behavior. Wondering does not mean it's your job to fix that pain, but it leaves a little room for compassion, for the possibility of repair, just the possibility, of relationship, and the dream of beloved community. Is that what we're here for? Everything you do matters. What you choose to do and why and how. When we orient to our values and our grounding beliefs, we are reminded that some tools are better left to rust. Our faith keeps us resilient, loving, and whole. It keeps our souls intact. Brown writes that what we pay attention to grows. This is a hard world, but it is also a world full of love and pleasure. I am of that, attending to and growing that. End quote. May we be courageous in saying no when we are in the presence of bullying or injustice or oppression of any kind. May we be intentional about the world we are growing, the tools we choose to use, the actions we take, and the love that grounds us. May it be so. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Amelie and Deanna, you are being paged to the youth singers.
Come on, girls. All right. And I talked to the sound guys. We're checking the mic right now. Make sure it's on. Come on up. Come on up. You want to say test, test, test?
Test, test, test. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 zillion. All right. The mics are working this Yeah, it's working. Wait, is it working? Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I think.
I want to mention real quick that we prepared this one for February 1st back during, Black History Month. And that's when we got iced out, but we really like this one, and it's based on text by Martin Luther King.
Darkness cannot drive away darkness. In light
a chalice extinguishing from a letter James Baldwin wrote to Cynthia Packard, his teaching assistant, July 4th, 1987. Everything seems very strange and tentative. The way of time is different. It goes fast, much more slowly. It is gone suddenly, the day, which had seemed so slow and heavy. And then there is the night, where I've always been more at home. I seem to curl up in the stillness at the center of the dark. I listen, and something is listening to me. All journeys are extraordinary, but one's got to make many, perhaps, in order to find this out. What a marvelous phrase, to find out. As we extinguish this chalice, let us find peace in this darkness. Let us remember that the flame shines whether we can see it or not.
In benediction, continuing words from a complex movement by Adrienne Marie Brown. Breathe with me. Internalized demands. You are the one you are waiting for. Externalize love. Bind us together into a greater self. A complex movement, a generative abundance and embodied evolution. Learn to be here. We are going further, past reform to wonder. This requires comprehension that cannot fit in words, out beyond our children, beyond the end of time. There is a ceaseless cycle, a fractal of sublime. And we come to create it, to soil our hands and faces, loving, and loving ourselves and all our places. Amen. Ashe. And blessed be. I invite you to rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, number 108. My life flows on in endless song.